There have been some big developments today, and I think it's really important that we take authorship queen Blake Lively at her word. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. This really was an explosive day today. I've already made 2 videos. Watch those to be fully caught up. Briefly, in her amended complaint, Colleen Hoover's bestie cited 15 causes of action against Justin Baldoni. 15. Those were sexual harassment, retaliation, sexual harassment in violation of FEHA, retaliation in violation of FEHA, retaliation in violation of the California Labor Code, failure to investigate, prevent, and/or remedy harassment in violation of FEHA. And if you're wondering, FEHA is the California Fair Employment and Housing Act. You're welcome. Her 7th course of action was aiding and abetting harassment and retaliation in violation of the FEHA. Breach of contract, actor loan-out agreement. Breach of contract, contract writer agreement. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Negligence infliction of emotional distress. False light invasion of privacy, sexual harassment in violation of California Civil Code, defamation, and civil conspiracy. Now, since we're in the discovery phase of this legal mess, this is the time for subpoenas and gathering information. Because 2 of her claims are infliction of emotional distress, Team Baldoni has requested her medical records. Before they did that, though, they did a meet and confer. And look at that nose. Team Pinocchio said, you know what? We don't want to give you access to her medical records. You can't find out who her providers are. You can't find out their notes. You can't see any treatment plans. Nada. So since we're not going to give you anything, we're going to withdraw these claims of infliction of emotional distress, which is highly unusual. Lawyers know that requesting and giving and getting this information is common when you have these claims in a case. Otherwise, don't put them in your complaint. After being alerted to this latest legal move by the wife of Dick Pool, Team Baldoni / Wayfarer said, okay, cool. ... If you release these claims with prejudice, meaning you can't refile them at a later time. They objected to that, withholding the right to refile the infliction of emotional distress claims at a later time. So, now Team Baldoni Wayfarer is asking the judge to compel her to share the medical records or figure out a way to let her withdraw the claims, with or without prejudice. And I thought it was important to revisit the actual claims now that this legal scholar wants to withdraw. According to her own words, I'm assuming she is literate and read this, and I'm sure if not, her husband, the real author in the relationship, definitely read all of this. Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband, remember, is also a party in this lawsuit. Their 10th cause of action against him, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Miss Lively hereby repeats, reiterates, re-alleges, and incorporates by reference each and every allegation of the complaint as if fully set forth fully herein. Defendants: Wayfarer, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Baldoni, Heath, Sarowitz, Nathan, Tagg, Abel, Wallace, and Street Relations intentionally engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct toward Miss Lively, which conduct was so extreme as to exceed all bounds of that usually tolerated in a civilized community. Defendants' conduct included soliciting, developing, implementing, and promoting a covert, multi-tiered press and digital plan that defendants themselves described as social manipulation regarding Miss Lively to destroy her reputation and career in retaliation for exercising her legally protected right to speak up about their misconduct on the set of the film and to deter or prevent Miss Lively from publicly disclosing defendants' harassing and discriminatory conduct. Defendants: Wayfarer, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Baldoni, Heath, Sarowitz, Nathan, Tagg, Abel, Wallace, and Street Relations intended to cause Miss Lively emotional distress. In the alternative, and at the least, these defendants acted with reckless disregard of the probability that their conduct would cause Miss Lively to suffer emotional distress. Miss Lively suffered severe emotional distress as a result of these defendants' conduct. The outrageous conduct by defendants: Wayfarer, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Baldoni, Heath, Sarowitz, Nathan, Tagg, Abel, Wallace, and Street Relations was a substantial factor in causing Miss Lively's severe emotional distress and was the actual and proximate cause of the emotional distress. Defendants: Wayfarer, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Baldoni, Heath, Sarowitz, Nathan, Tagg, Abel, Wallace, and Street Relations acted with oppression, fraud, or malice as defined by the California Civil Code 3294 and engaged in highly reprehensible conduct warranting punitive damages. And then the 11th cause of action: negligence infliction of emotional distress. Miss Lively hereby repeats, reiterates, realleges, and incorporates by reference each and every allegation of the complaint as if fully set forth fully herein. Defendants: Wayfarer, Baldoni, and Heath owed a duty of care to maintain a safe work environment free of harassment and retaliation to avoid causing foreseeable harm to Miss Lively. At all times mentioned, it was reasonably foreseeable that Miss Lively would suffer harm if these defendants perpetuated, participated in, or failed to address the conduct described in the preceding paragraphs. In engaging in the conduct described in this complaint, these defendants breached the duty of care to Miss Lively and affirmatively contributed to and caused Miss Lively's injuries. Miss Lively suffered serious emotional distress as a result of defendants' negligent conduct. The negligence of defendants Wayfarer, Baldoni, and Heath was a substantial factor in causing Miss Lively's emotional distress. As a direct and proximate cause of their misconduct as alleged herein, Miss Lively suffered and continues to suffer the damages alleged in this complaint. Wow. Sounds like she really suffered. Surely she would have sought some help, some treatment, some meds, or at least regular sessions with a therapist, or at least seeking out that information seems relevant to me, right? Nope. The Floral Fanatics attorney called this motion, the letter submitted today by the Baldoni Wayfarer parties, as publicity stunting. I don't see it that way, because after having read these two claims against him, which she is now trying to withdraw, they seem very important and relevant to her case. No? After all of these allegations, now she just wants to wipe them off? Her attorneys claim they're just streamlining the lawsuit and that this is standard practice. I think, no, her claims are a bunch of nothing, and they're trying to avoid having to answer to that. But hey, that's just what I think. I am not a lawyer, and this is only my opinion. I would love to hear yours. There's a lot that's happened today, and let's get into everything, including this great reminder. in the comments section.